Okay, so we are back. Mm. Where do we go? Um, you know, from here. Uh, Photography was, well, it became a hobby. It became something to do on the weekends when Killarney got boring. No lie. We found a way to follow as much as we could the drifting scene. So I've got some of the coolest photos of drifting, or the coolest cars at the time. I've got some really cool photos of Otto's S15, Shane Goodside's S15. I've got. Here's the thing. Here's a piece of information. I think people in Cape Town all know the wide body S15. Little bit of information. I was present the day that car was bought. Very funny story. And now that I think about it, I'm actually going to put that photo in the book. And that is what this sparked, this whole video idea. I'd like to tell people a bit more about HoodRide. Not so much the origins and stuff like that, but how much HoodRide, or the label HoodRide, has impacted and benefited my life. What I'm currently working on is trying to encapsulate all the images that I took with my name under the HoodRide label, and it needs to mean something. It's in the photographic world, it's a photo book, it's a collection of, let's call it my first collection of works. At the same time, bear in mind, I have a degenerative illness. I have had eye surgery in 2018 to try and slow down the degradation of my optic nerves. But prior to that, I have been going blind since I was 15. So, yeah, currently I am designated as a person with a disability. By law, I am legally blind. By medical terms, if I can say that, I am blind. There is nothing that they can do to correct my vision. I am blind. Which gets me to why the need to tell the story of HoodRide. Today is the 28th of October 2025. I went to Killarney on the 25th, which was Saturday. While on my way back, after having some fun, taking photos, that happened. Now, I'm retired. Due to health complications from my career, which also means that I am unemployed. I have never thought of photography as being a form of income. However, I have been granted the favor to pursue this art form, and I am entirely grateful for that, because this cane, to someone with decent enough eyesight, you can't imagine what the cane means. The fact that my cane is now broken means I can't leave the house anytime soon. At least with this one. I do have a rigid cane, which I'm now going to be forced to use for Friday, so I can at least get out of the house and attend the event. But anyway, I would like to tell you something. There's a quote. I don't know who said it, I just heard it. The day the blind man sees again, the first thing he gets rid of is his cane. Which, by understanding, is how important the cane is. The little sounds that it makes, to a normal person they are just sounds, but to a person with a visual disability, concrete sounds different, wood sounds different, metal sounds different. My backdrop hanging from the backdrop stand, the paper backdrop sounds different to the canvas. When you tap it with a stick, you pretty much have to become Batman. Anyway, what's the lawyer dude? That would be cool. Imagine I had like a full leather, racing leathers, you know, but like, okay, I can't say Daredevil style because that would just be wrong religiously. Batman, can I get a Batman suit? But I want Christian Bale Batman, not the sparkly one. Don't like the sparkly one. So anyway, about the cane. Do people still buy images? I would like to sell my images. I would like photography to be my form of income. So this is me putting it out there. I do automotive and motorsport photography. Cars, bikes, race cars. You want me to shoot speedboats? It will cost a lot, but we will shoot speedboats. No lie, we'll shoot speedboats at night if we have to. The trip to Killarney on Saturday was for, if I can say, personal growth. I needed that confidence. For a very long time I have been wondering how I can attain the confidence to say, hey, look here, here's my work. This is what it costs. And bear in mind, photography has now had to become my day job, so it's not a hobby anymore. I need people to understand that the prices that my work is not for back pocket money, it's not for snacks money, it's got to pay for my medical expenses. So I need you to understand that even while I'm doing photography, I am losing eyesight constantly, which means my work, my frequency of work changes haphazardly. I could be good 3 weekends in a row, and then for 3 months I'm out of order. So whatever income I make needs to be able to sustain me during those periods. We don't shoot to sell photos to everybody, because then it becomes about the money. Racing is a ballet on the blacktop, as it was once described, and it's a performance. You know, you go to a football match, it is a performance. At the end of the day, you ask yourself, how did they perform? You know, you go to a ballet, an actual ballet in a theater, it's a performance. You know, I always relay back to Maximus, you know. Are you not entertained? It's like, racing for me is very different because I love the sound of the engines. I've always loved the sound of engines. I love them even more now because I am more attentive. It doesn't matter how nice the car is if the engine sounds like crap. You know, and you can't ask me how does it sound. There are different exhausts, but on a racetrack, the acoustics of a racetrack is mind-blowing. It's really cool, you know, and every circuit has a different resonance. Most of the main straights have like the same resonance, if I can call it that, or sound shadow. Different tone, but the rev range, you know, it's almost like you're going through like fourth and fifth, or you know, you, depending on where you stand, the beginning of the, like the main straight, you know, where are you in the rev range versus the middle and versus the end when you downshift. All of those play a part in the performance of the day. Sometimes you focus on the bike, other times you focus on the story within a picture. If a rider, for example, on a bike, if a rider is not seated in fetal position properly, sometimes the shot doesn't look nice. But if everything is positioned perfectly, you know, you are in the right gear, you are in the correct rev range, you are seated correctly, you know, all of that plays a part in my workflow. It doesn't necessarily need to be anybody else. Photography for me is not about capturing the moment, it is about design. It is about purpose-built machines doing what they were built for. The purpose of this machine is to race, not to win. Winning comes entirely with a different set of conditions, but most people care about who won the race. I don't care about that, because someone can win a race, but it didn't look like the photos that I have of the leader. So first, second, third, okay, maybe first, second, third I don't really worry about. What I like is pure racing. So 3, 4, 5, 6. That's usually where the racing happens, because 5 and 6 want to at least get to 3. 4 thinks he can get to 1, but he'll be happy with just being on the podium. So that's where the racing happens. at least from my experience. We're talking circuit racing now. Drifting, the actions in the tandems, and not all tandems are equal. Some tandems are more equal than others. Hold on. Oops. So yeah. We'd like to sell our work, man. You know, if your car or your buddy's car happens to be in our book, our first book, purchase it, save up. You know, it's in print. Someone, like one of these, how can I put it? We'll get to that story another day, but someone very close to me in the photography game, someone that I didn't spend much time with, but I learned a lot in the time that I had. This person got me hooked on printing my work, and over time I came to realize that yeah, video is cool, but you can't print it. And then I once made that statement, and another voice popped up by saying you can just pause the video, you know, and grab that frame, and that's when you realize that when you do that, it is a still, the video becomes a still frame, so you still can't print video. Yeah, so we print our work. Some work gets put online to view digitally. We would like all our work going forward to be printed mostly. But yeah, let's see what happens in part 3. Cool.